Hello, dear friends of the Mindfulness Network for People of Color community. I'd like to take this moment just to thank a few people and announce my departure from the network after 7 years of volunteer service. And hopefully the legacy and the need for this work will continue with an exciting new team to connect and empower global majority people to contemplative practices for personal and collective liberation. I strongly believe still that mindfulness has a place in our lives, despite the many challenges within the industry and everything that we've experienced globally in the last few months. The power of the spaces that we have co-created has been in many ways the antidote to a lot of our predicaments. That sense of fostering that belonging and those attachments and empathy for each other is really the nectar of healing and growth. And I'd like really people to remember that there's no replacement for kindness and for reaching out and for being authentic, that there's no degree of education, no degree of sophistication, and so forth, that there's no replacement for you. And I'd like to start really with thanking the participants over the years who have made this possible, that without you, without what you bring to these spaces, how you choose to be, what you choose to share, and the loving and the kindness and all of those, and those of you who have been to our spaces know that when there is no one else to see or hear us when crisis starts, that these spaces are really worth building and preserving, that there's a certain sacredness in everything that we do. So just a little history. We started in 2018 with the view of providing an annual forest retreat on the south coast of England, inviting Black participants to experience nature, a sense of being cared for, a sense of safety and belonging. And this, in some ways, took us to places that we would have never imagined, meeting Rhonda McGee and other incredible people within the mindfulness area and beyond that. We learned and shared our spaces with people coming from an array of healing modalities, from sound energy healings and rituals, ancestral, transgenerational healing spaces, and people that I thought I would never meet, and introduced to incredible ways of healing suffering and pain and transformation. And this is what it's about. But I also like to thank other organizations like Tiratna and Colors of Compassion and the Black African Asian Therapist Network, who continue to do incredible work in the forefront of racial diversity and social injustice that so many of us in the global majority experience regularly. Over the last few years, we really have been focusing on grief, and Zunubi and I embarked in some 8-week grief courses, which have been really well received. We also offered grief rituals in Sussex and rituals, and other people have offered programs like Qigong and all sorts of incredible things that are on or programs that are on our YouTube channel for you to see and enjoy. I'd like to thank a few people in particular who have helped and supported us over the years. So Rhonda McGee and Vimala Sara, Eugene Ellis, Tony Seeley, Sheila Bulgavin, Oliver Taylor, Shobit Vidya, Paula Watson, Brian Smith, Taliba, Kathy May, Zinda Gazanubia, Beverly Iman, Sharon Brown, Hyson Taylor, Drew Sinclair for those incredible flyers, Utundi for the tech, Stuart Taylor, who is currently launching some grief events from 2026. And lastly, I'd like to thank Tim Fry, our white ally, who has selflessly given 7 years in his retirement to two of us and remains in the background. I'd like to end on a quote by Bell Hooks. The generous heart is always open, always ready to receive our comings and goings. And in the midst of such love, we never fear abandonment. This is the most precious gift true love offers, the experience of knowing that we always belong. Thank you.